Hello my dear friend, this is Phil again and welcome back to my channel. So in this episode we're going to talk about how to actually push yourself to reach the max DSP that your build can do. This is some kind of advanced talk about the DPS, so I will assume you have a decent amount of knowledge about the game already. You already have your own optimized build which can already do a lot of decent damage to mobs inside the game. And if you don't, no worries. I have plenty of build videos in my channel and a lot of video to show you how exactly the game works in terms of mechanics, in terms of how the damage is calculated and what perks you should choose for different builds as well. And you should know how to actually get 33 luck in your special so you can have a critical per other shot. And you also know how the AP works and how you can buff it to regen as quick as possible. Now with all of these assumptions, I understand some of you are very keen to actually push yourself even further to get the max DSP as you can inside the game to really hit the ceiling. Then this video is for you. So this last mile to reach the min-max build is the critical damage. You have to actually maximize your critical damage in order to actually hit the DSP ceiling. And why do you want to maximize the critical damage? It's because critical damage can actually bypass the damage reduction on the bosses. So the final result of your critical shot will only be affected by the resistance of the boss, of the mob. It will bypass the damage reduction of the boss and cause huge amount of damage. And we all know the main reason that the big bosses are so hard to kill is because they have very high damage reduction. For example, Scorpions have 70% damage reduction and the Windigo Colossal have even higher damage reduction, which 80%. And critical damage will just ignore all of these settings. So basically critical shot will cause huge amount of damage to the final bosses, which can significantly shorten the time to take them down. That's the secret that all of this super powered player taking down the final bosses in less than half a minute alone. Now how did they achieve it? They use consumables. One of them is canned coffee. It gives you 300 AP regen. Works just like steam packs. So whenever you spend APs in your vats, it will try to regen the AP for 25 seconds, which is roughly about 12 AP regen per second. And the good thing is canned coffee actually stacks. So you can have a dozen of canned coffee right before you start shooting the Scorpius Queen or the Windigo Colossal. And you can stay in vats and keep on doing criticals until you take the boss down. It's super powerful. And unfortunately, you cannot craft it. You can only loot it in a few spots in the world. And I will show you how to farm the coffee later. Very similar to canned coffee, the sunshine oil can actually produce 400 AP regen in 25 seconds. It's even more powerful than canned coffee. And it can be crafted, but it's very difficult to craft. It needs quite a few ingredients. And within those ingredients, the blight and sugar bomb is very hard to get. For me as a lazy player, I prefer to actually farm the canned coffee instead of crafting the sunshine oil. Then there are a few consumables to actually boost the critical damage directly, like this sweet mudfruit tea. It's craftable, it gives you 20% more critical hit and extra 25 HP. And again, this one is very difficult to craft as well. It needs a lot of ingredients, and among them, the Starlight Berry is particularly hard to farm. So as I mentioned, I'm a lazy player. I prefer not to craft this one because it takes a lot of time to do so. And luckily there's an alternative. The Blight Suit is craftable as well, and it gives you 20% critical damage for 30 minutes. So it's a very similar effect, but without this 25 HP buff. And the good thing about the Blight Suit is it's much easier to craft. You only need 3 ingredients. 1 blight, 1 purified water, and 1 wood. And luckily, all of them are fairly easy to get. The most difficult one is the blight, but I will show you my farm route you can easily get 60 blights in one single area. Because I only use Blight Suit when fighting the final bosses, I don't really need to stock a hell lot of them. So here is my blight farming route. So basically in this area there are a lot of blight, but I prefer to start at this point. And you can see right beside me there's one blight cluster. And don't forget to put the green thumbs on so you can double your harvest. That's one. Let's go east. There's another one. Let's keep going east. One more on the hill. Another one on this tree. So basically you want to heading to the AMS testing site. As showed on the map. To the east first. There's one. You will find a lot of them around this area. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 7. Have to keep your eyes open and look around. That's one more 8. We won't head back to the mountains. Another one. You can pick up the logs on the way as well, because they are one of the ingredients as well. Plenty of them around here on the slope of the mountain. And 2. Their golden color is quite easy to be spotted. One more. One more. And let's heading back to the ASM testing site. Now here I'm back to the AMS testing site. I basically start from over there and went all around this area through the mountains and come back to this site. How many blight do I have now? 52. That's about 6-7 minutes. With the green thumb, I got over 50 blight. I would say it's pretty easy to farm if you know this specific location. Now it's cooking time. Let's go back to cook some nice soup to warm us up. I cooked the 3 sunshine oil before I cooked the Blight Suit, so now I can only cook 46 in total. Done. How many soup I got? Now I have 58 Blight Soup in total, and 3 sunshine oil as well. So as I showed you earlier, the Blight Soup gives you 20% extra critical damage, but with the herbivore mutation plus the stringent number perk, it can give you 50% critical damage boost. And if you combine that with the Live and Love number 3 magazine, it can give you an extra 70% critical damage. That's a huge boost. Now let me give you a quick show on how big change the Blight Suit can bring to the game. Now let's try this on the Scorch screen. So initially I didn't use the Blight Suit at all. With my optimized build, the critical damage is about 186. Now let me take the Blight Suit and use the Live and Love number 3 magazine. There we go. Now I should do extra 75% critical damage. It's additive damage boost, so it only works with the base critical damage. Now I can do around 220 damage per critical shot, which is around 15% increase to the critical damage overall. It is a huge boost, and when combined with the overdrive, cycle stats, small gun bubblehead, this temporary buff's gonna boost your DPS to the maximized level that your build can actually achieve using normal weapon inside the game. I'm not covering legacy weapons because for me it's really something alien in the game at this moment. Now let me show you my favorite locations for canned coffee farming. The first location is in Morstown. After you fast travel to this location, go straight forward. When you are in the middle of the town, turn west. You can find this house just outside the town. Inside this house, there are 2 canned coffee. One is on this shelf, another one is just across the room on another shelf. There are a few junks here, as well as 1 company tea. So company tea is one of my favorite drinks inside the game. It gives you significant boost on AP regen outside the vats. You can always combine it together with canned coffee to give you the best AP regen for both inside and outside vats. I made a video for a complete company tea guide. If you're interested, I'll put the link down below in the description area. Now just cross the room on this shelf. There's another canned coffee and a few other food and drinks. A vegetarian ham. I really have no clue what the heck is that. And the second location for my canned coffee farming is the South Mountain Lookout. It's just southeast to the foundation. It also has 2 canned coffees. One is in this little shed beside the tower. It's on the shelf in the room as well. And another one is on the top of the tower. And it should be on this shelf here, but unfortunately it's not here this time. It's either someone picked it up already or it didn't actually spawn at all, because there are spawn rates for all the items inside the game. But in my experience, most of the time I can find another canned coffee on this shelf. Then the third location I usually go for is Coverton Farm. Once you landed in this location, just go straight forward to the top of the mountain and get into the building. Inside this building, there are 2 canned coffee as well. One is here on this shelf. Oh, scared the hell out of me. Another one is on another shelf just across the room. So it's right here. And these 3 locations gonna normally give us 5 or 6 canned coffee. Then what I normally do is just go to Somerville and loot those 250 burned books in the house and jump server and repeat the canned coffee farming. There are a few other places you can find only one canned coffee. I just don't bother to try it because I'm too lazy. I always go for these 3 locations because they have 2 canned coffee each. Okay, that's all for today, and I really hope this video can give you some reference or some hint to actually boost your DPS as high as it can go. But as I mentioned, this is an advanced talk. You have to actually have your optimized build done first. For example, you need to have the 33 luck, you need to have the Eagle Eye mutation. Apparently you need to have all the right defensive and offensive perks, the right gear and weapon. And if you found this video useful, please give me a thumb up and share that with your friends and subscribe to my channel. But until next time, Phil Against out.